Previously on Kerbal Space Program Live. We're down! We are down without any skiing or anything. Guys, we have just landed on Minmus, on a hill, next to the water, with Bob Kerman, and with what looks like, hopefully, enough fuel for us to get back up into orbit and perhaps back on our way towards Kerbin. Chocolate chip rock. We'll get rid of the there we go. It's just chocolate chip rock. There we go. On this world that looks like mint flavoured ice cream. What a better monument to our first Minmus landing than to name the big rock that looks like a chocolate chip. This is our mission. Here is our surface sample. 150 science if we manage to get this surface sample home. Surface sample from Minmus Midlands. The surface seems to consist of tiny crystal-like grains. Very pretty, probably not edible. We're going to keep that. We're going to turn our rocket pack back on and head back to our lander. We are going to try and take a second surface sample from Minmus from a second biome. Come on, Bob. Oh, faceplant. Boing! Whoa! Disco Bob! Well, 10 for effort, 0 for landing. Ugh, right. Okay, let's just check that we're not in a different biome already. Minmus Great Flats, we are. Okay. Right, okay, well we'll keep that and we'll take a surface sample from here as well because that's another 150 science. Ah. Was that? That wasn't the Great Flats over there, was it? No. We'll keep that. I think you can only carry one at a time. That's a pain because then we've got to take that back to the lander. Right. Get your rocket pack back on then. How's your rocket fuel doing? Oh, you got loads of fuel left. Good. Jump, and we'll go back to the lander again. Note to self: next time, build a rover. Right, let's stick the landing this time. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. There we go. Crap. There we go. Right. Okay. Now let's store those two experiments. Good. I don't know how much we can store. Now, unfortunately at this point I had a few technical difficulties and my microphone stopped working. So, welcome to some post-commentary about what's going on here. What you can see here, we collected up the science points that we had stored in the various different devices on our lander so that we could transfer those to our lander can. That saves us having to do it on the journey home from Minmus back to Kerbin. So we are preparing now to get ourselves ready for a relaunch to head back to Kerbin. Now, unfortunately, we then realised that in our construction of this lander, we missed one very important detail from our construction. We failed to install a heat shield. The normal command pod that we have been using has a heat shield built in, but the lander can that we are using does not have a built-in heat shield. So this lander can will not be able to re-enter the atmosphere of Kerbin without overheating and being destroyed. This obviously poses us a rather large problem because our intention is to get all the science points that we have collected back to Kerbin. So we have to adjust our plan slightly. We do lift off, we take off, we manage to get ourselves into an orbit around Minmus, as you will see. And as we plan our return to Kerbin, I will hand myself back over to my live commentary self to explain our new plan. Right, we came to the decision and the realisation, thanks to Sprengy86, that the lander can that we have doesn't have a heat shield attached. So we can't actually take it into the atmosphere of Kerbin because it will burn up, and we have got a lot of science points resting on this being a successful mission. So what we're going to do instead is get us into an orbit around Kerbin, and then we're going to send a rescue mission. But we're not going to do that tonight. We're going to have to send the rescue mission in next week's stream, but we are going to get this thing into an orbit around Kerbin first. I'm just setting up the manoeuvres here so that we can find out what's going to be best and most fuel efficient. That's pretty good because that means you don't have to change our inclination quite so much. Right, so I'm going to go with a burn like that. It's a 15-second burn in 33 minutes. There we go. And we're going to burn at roughly T-minus 7.5 seconds. So 8 seconds. And that is coming up in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There. There we go. That's our manoeuvre set. Bob Kerman looking a bit sad to be going home by the looks of things. Probably because he knows he's going to have to stay in orbit for a while until we can send up a rescue mission, which we'll have to do relatively quickly because, you know, he's only got 78 days worth of food left in his pod there. That's not terrible. He's used up, what's that, 3 days worth of his supply on this journey. So let's speed up time until we get round to this periapsis round here, and then we will bring this orbit into something a bit more workable. I'll tell you what we'll do actually first. We will correct our inclination. Whoops, preferably the correct direction. There we go, because we want to be going around the right way to make for an easy manoeuvre. We will actually, while we're doing the burn, we might as well burn in more than... Whoa, what happened there? That, I believe, is us meeting the moon. It is, isn't it? That's not particularly important, though. So we'll bring our periapsis down. It's got the inclination all the way off again, isn't it? There we go. So that manoeuvre there will bring us much closer to the planet. It's a 53-second burn though. That's quite a lot of fuel. We're already in accelerated time, so let's just... Whoa, not too fast. Let's bring that a bit closer. Right, let's get ourselves lined up. This will correct our inclination and bring our periapsis down, or our apoapsis and our periapsis down at the same time, so that we can get a bit closer in on Kerbin. And we're going to burn right now. Right, we got through that manoeuvre. We have a tiny little bit of fuel left. We are going to use that fuel to bring our apoapsis down over here to, well, just wherever we can get it to. And then we will have to send a rescue mission up to go and collect Bob and his science points that he has gathered for us. Let's speed him up and bring him round here. Come on, Bob. Come on, Bob. Bob, 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 Bob. There we go. Right. Quickly round to our periapsis. Not to our periapsis, to our retrograde marker. That's what I meant. And we will just burn to wherever our fuel will take us. Here we go. Let's remove that, we don't need that anymore. Our periapsis is currently at 1,980 kilometres. There we go, we are out of fuel. Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got the RCS fuel. like we did last time. It's not going to be much use to us where it is, so I think we will use the RCS fuel to slow us down while we can. It's not going to make a huge bit of difference, but the lower we can get this apoapsis, the easier it's going to be for us to get a ship up to go and recover all this science. What is handy is that we have the 3-man command pod now, so we can send up a command pod with some space to put a guy back in to bring it home. So that's very handy. Let's see whether... Actually, the RCS fuel's doing quite a good job. It's slow, but it's doing a good job. Periapsis was what? Just under 2 million metres. So we're coming down. I think we're going to be able to get to a circular orbit with the RCS fuel. Obviously our plan was to just burn so that we came back into the atmosphere, but clearly that's not going to happen, is it, in this situation? Interesting observation here, our satellites aren't all communicating with each other. I wonder why that is. We'll have to check up on that as well. There we go, we're under 2 million metres. So we're on a roughly circular orbit around Kerbin. Let's just make sure that this has got solar panels pointing towards the sun. Oh yeah, plenty of solar panels pointing towards the sun there. Let's point it like that. There we go. Plenty of solar panels. 3 solar panels. Oh, those are pointing to it as well. Okay, so he's got power. He's got enough food and water and oxygen for just under 74 days. So that's how long we've got to get someone up there to meet him, to get all this science back. So that, I'm afraid, guys, is where we are going to have to leave the stream for this week. We did get a surface sample from Minmus. We got 2 surface samples from Minmus, and we have kind of brought them back to Kerbin, but we're not quite there yet. We are going to have to wait until next week to send up a rescue mission to bring back Bob and all his lovely science points back to Kerbin. And what a lot of science points that is going to be. So be sure to subscribe so that you get notifications of the next time that we go live with this stream. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching. Please do like, comment and subscribe, and share this out to all your friends on the various different social media networks. I have been El Bristow. You have been watching Kerbal Space Program Live. I will see you next time. See you later, guys.